Alrighty, good morning. As always, we start with just a moment of quiet where we hold the idea. I can see what I'm thinking. I can see what I'm feeling. I can see what my body's up to. Senses, urges, cravings, whatever. But what is me that can see all those things? Because that's the gateway to our awareness. And just a moment of musing on how is it I can see these things? And who am I that can see these things? Okay. So just a quick review to kind of get the words on the same page with you being new here. I'd like to propose that mindfulness itself, which is my version of it, there's thousands of versions out there, and it is that space of awareness where I can see what I'm up to and I'm making conscious choices of which energy to activate and how to activate it. So that's like the core of it. And tying into that is two aspects, the awake or awareness aspect of myself, which can see those things. And the other aspect is the reactive nature of past programming in my brain, my emotions, and even stored patterns in the body. And I use some keys. The awake aspect has certain keys that I have found reliable and also taught by many other mindfulness teachers. And one of those keys is that state of awareness. It's always at peace, like, oh man, this is crazy, let's see how this goes. It sees with a natural curiosity, not a questioning, but like, who are you? What's going on for you? What's happening here? It sees with a beauty. It just looks at things and can be amazed at the beauty in pretty much everything these days. It sees with compassion, kind of leaning into the Buddhist take there, that seeing with compassion is tied to the last key I use, and that is, it's a sense of, I wish you well. I see that's going on, that's horrible. I want well for you. So those are traits or attributes that come out of our awake state of awareness. The reason I call them keys is because when I'm not in there, when I'm angry or fearful or busy lusting or whatever, I can remember, oh, I could be at peace and deal with this. And that brings to a very simple practice I use. In fact, it's pretty much the only practice I use anymore, with 4 quick little steps. One is the remembering, oh, I could be at peace or in that state of awareness. Okay. Next, I have to begin choosing to go to that peace. All right, I could be at peace. Yep, I could, but I'm enjoying being pissed off. Never mind. Oh, I could be at peace. Yeah, I could. I could be at peace. Well, maybe eventually. That second step is that beginning to choose. And in one case, a few years ago, I found it took me 2.5 months to complete that second step before I could reach step 3, which is where I say, yes, I want to go to peace. I want to be in my peace with this topic, this issue. Get me there. And that's the 4th step, the get me there. Help me is another phrase. Our inner awareness is very powerful. It does encompass all of the rest of us we know, our brain and emotions and body. And it has an amazing ability to bring about transformation in those. So, real quick, the 4 steps are, oh yeah, I could be at peace for this. Oh, I need to choose to be at peace. 3rd step, yes, I do want to go to my peace. A little help, please. That last step is needed to get me out of my brain programs and my emotional reactions. I'm opening to something different or outside of what I've been running in a loop in. So that asking for help or opening to help is very powerful. At that point, our awareness can begin transformation. Any energy that comes up in us has a good root. I'm angry. Means I want something to be different. It's just a matter of how am I going to go about that. Punching holes in the wall may not do much to either solve the problem or get me the result I want. So awareness lets me see when a feeling or an old program come up as a reaction. I see, oh, this is a reaction, a program, a script. Let me look at it. Just look at it. And Eckhart Tolle is really big on that way of doing mindfulness. Just look. And with that open-mindedness, what's going on for me with this? Never mind what they're doing, but what's my reaction? Why am I angry? What's behind this? And then if that gets a little bit clearer, how do I express it in a beneficial way for both me and them, or a non-destructive way maybe? And then I find something amazing happens. However long I need to keep looking and waiting, I may need to do an immediate response at times, like do the best I can, like, nope, I'm out of here, or you're out of here. It's not about becoming passive, but it's leaving that inspection from our awareness open all the time. So then to sum that all up, what we call awakening or growth is becoming more and more identified with myself as that state of awareness which has all these other attributes as I've known in my human experience. But I become identified with continuously watching, oh, I feel that reaction. I feel that program kicking in, and seeing it with awareness. So then it just becomes a lifetime adventure. There's no real right or wrongs. There's hundreds or thousands of practices taught, but any one of them I've ever explored all come back to this simple summary in the end. Oh, I want to be at peace. How do I get there? And that's my general approach. So, any thoughts on that?
I love it. I think it's very simple, and a lot of times things, the simpler the better. So I think it's beautiful.
Cool.
I really like the last part. Help me, please. That's something I struggle with. Is trying to be in control.
Mm-hmm.
I wrote down next to it like surrender. It's like
Mm-hmm.
it's hard for me to like I could say I want peace, and like you said, the choosing can take forever, take a long time, but it's like I think that final piece of like surrendering to God or Source and saying, hey,
Yeah.
I can't do this on my own.
Yeah. And again, everything in us is there for a good reason. It may have been an insane situation that put a program there, but it was always something my mind created for survival. Even that need to be in control is part of that. So look at it kindly. It's like, all right, I see you want to be in control, that makes sense. You want to be safe, you want a good outcome. Now let's just add in more help for, it's like we're adding to, we're not attacking anything in ourselves, is how I manage that. Because I have that control thing, I suspect most people do. But all of it, we just look at ourselves kindly with awakening or awareness. And that then leads to compassion, because I can look out and see they don't know what they're doing. They don't have a clue. Okay, I found a few of those spots in my mind. So, well, how do I relate? To me, kindness develops naturally, both within and without, as we follow this awakening. So, yeah. Well, I'll tack on one more. I like to give a little topic to think on or muse on. Not so much think, but muse. And I mentioned this state of awareness sees in beauty. I like to say it, when I remember to see beautifully, I see beauty everywhere. And we can play with these different new attributes that come up in our process of awakening. They can be very, like, almost overwhelming. The sense of beauty for me yesterday was like this, wow. I mean, every tree, the creek, people, everything was just like resonating with this sense of beauty. And we will get that with love at times, and the compassion. All kinds of neat things arise as we enter deeper into the stillness of our awareness. And what I'd like to offer is, they're going to go outside the box of our normal living framework. It's like, well, you can't look at everything as beautiful. You can't be compassionate about everything. As we feel these things rise up, can you give them space to grow and just experience them for a while? Well, what if I took a whole afternoon just seeing beautifully and didn't get any work done, didn't think about anything, can I give space to the expanding awareness is why I bring up beauty in particular. Let's turn her off.
Beautiful ringtone.
So, to me, this awareness stuff is so simple. There's not much more to say about it. I can talk about it forever because it's so amazing and awesome to me, but that's it. We find that space. Maybe we remember one of the keys. Oh, I want to get back to where I'm seeing beautifully. I want to get back to where I wish you well. That's one of my main keys, because I find most often it's other people that trigger my stuff. It's usually not butterflies or turtles that take me out of my peace. So, all right, how can I wish that jerk well? Maybe where I start. But it's the remembering there's another way to experience this or to look at this. So, all right, thoughts? We won't go there.
No, I've always thought for years now, since I've been aware of that I judge whether something is beautiful or not. I'm making a judgment based on my experience. And so for me to change that is to practice. And I usually, you say people, I usually pick a person that normally, with all my old programs, I would be saying, you know, absolutely not, I don't want to be in their presence, I hate them, blah, blah, blah. And try to see that they're made of the same stuff.
That's it.
They're made of the same stuff, and what they're doing. They have their reasons, they have their programs, but I don't have to judge it.
Yep.
And so, yeah. And so I have these faces that I can put up in front of me every now and then. Of course, you can guess who it is now, but it's everybody's face.
Yes.
Well, almost.
Yeah.
Where things are concerned and all the other alive beings and the things that we don't think are alive that really are. I used to practice that. We had a lot of guardrails in Colorado because some of the roads up in the mountains, you really needed them. And when cars hit them, they get all bent up, and next thing you know, they get all rusty and ugly. And that was the word for me. This is, you know, I got to see this differently. So rusty old bent guardrails was my image.
Yeah.
for-
Cool.
And to see them as alive,
Yeah.
as something that, you know, is
Okay.
same substance everything else has got.
Yeah. Cool. And that's it. We each build our own practices and methodology like that. We're not getting rid of anything. You know, there's many old teachings of the ego as like an enemy that's in us that we're trying to get rid of. That does not work with awakening in awareness. It's just how it's been operating up till now. The only use of the word ego I find is if I identify myself as being that old program, I'm stuck in it. I'm not going to change it because I think it's me, and then I think I'm going to lose me. If that changes, well, then I won't be me anymore. And that's actually a pretty powerful circuit in many minds that we all come across. It's like, well, I can't let that change. That's how it is, and I know it, and I just won't be me. And I have experienced, people have shared that when they hit that, there's a real fear of being dissolved. And I've actually had people get up and walk out of group and tell me later about it. So all these funny, quirky fears will come up along the way. Awakening is not a roadway of nirvana. And at least at age 70, it hasn't ever arrived at a nirvana either. I've just gotten a little quicker to come back to peace and to remember I could be at peace, but it's a way of living, not a destination. And again, there's no enemy. There's nothing. we're not wrong because of what programs are in us, you know? It's just, that's what got in there somehow.
I had a couple things come up
Mhm.
as you were talking. When I just joined Catholic Church, April, and I was really scared because I had all these belief systems and frameworks going into it, and I resonated with what you just said. I think I had a fear that I was just gonna choose this path and then just follow the other stuff that I knew was helpful. It's just gonna dissolve away from me because it didn't like align. So that was my ego and my ego and my soul, whatever you want to call it, were really battling each other because my heart felt drawn to the path, but it was like what are you doing? You can't do this. We're gonna lose everything.
Cool.
So I really resonated with what you
Okay.
said there. And then the other thing that I put is like I've found myself chasing mystical experiences, like wanting to. I had a couple and like feeling like that is needed to grow spiritually.
Mm-hmm.
But as you're talking, I realized that it's like this is kind of the prerequisite. It's like I shouldn't be chasing the mystical experiences. I should be chasing or being aware of being aware.
Yes.
and that will naturally, if God willing, the time is right for it, it'll happen. But this is a more important path than just
Cool.
chasing that. So that came up as you're talking.
Yeah, that certainly agrees with my take on this stuff. So for whatever that's worth. Yeah. I find as the awareness grows, it becomes a lot more like layered in my awareness. I can see my awareness. I can see maybe a sadness about something. I can also see a joy in it. It's just all like multi-layers that hang there all at the same time now. I don't have to pick one and say, oh no, this is sad, or that's happy about that. Or it's like you begin to see just a bigger sphere of all, everything all the time, all at once. It gets a little weird and wobbly for a while until you get used to it. Yeah, I mean, I'm a scientist. I believe in evolution. I watch it happening, in my opinion. I also believe it's created. So there's two things that hang together all the time. They're not enemies to each other anymore. It's just, I don't know how creation works. I really don't know how evolution works.
Yeah.
But I can see both, my heart sees the source, creation. My mind sees the technical beauty of evolution and biochemistry and DNA, and they both are there at the same time. So, yeah.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, it's an amazing adventure.
Paradox, both end.
Yeah. There's always a paradox because doxes get lonely.
Yep.
Anything else before I take us offline? Well, thank you for adding to this, and anybody out there